Christmas is a time of celebration, and a lot of us gamers like to return to a time of nostalgia and comfort by playing our favorite games that we used to play as kids or just during the Christmas season. So I approached some Skytubers and asked them what are their favorite games to play during the Christmas season, via nostalgic reasons or just because it fits the festive mood.
Christmas is a time for many things, but for you and me, most likely we like to play some games, and a game that I like to play around Christmas is Super Mario Galaxy. First of all, I originally got this game for Christmas, so there is that nostalgic drive to it, but also whenever I play this game, I want to be able to play it for an extended amount of time because this game is just so good, and Christmas break always gives me the best option to do that. Super Mario Galaxy might just be my favorite game of all time. I mean, even though the game was made on a Wii, which isn't the best console graphic-wise, oh my goodness, this game is beautiful, man. Out of the gate, the first area you are dropped into once the game officially starts looks amazing. Super Mario Galaxy has over 40 levels, and basically all of them are great. Since the theme is that you're exploring around space, you can basically do whatever you want to do for each level, and the game really takes advantage of that. You go from galaxies of ghosts to toy galaxies. This makes the game almost never boring since you're always seeing brand new locations each new galaxy you enter. Mario games by themselves are already usually pretty good, but with all the variations and new ideas brought into this game, it really makes it stand out. There's even a galaxy called the Freeze Flame Galaxy, which has some kind of snow levels, which is great to play around Christmas. There are also different types of Marios you can play with that have different powers, so the gameplay is always going to be refreshing and new a lot of the time. Some levels are even centered around certain powers that certain different Marios have. For a long time, Mario levels were sometimes cramped maybe, but this game, levels are huge and expansive. The Wii remote control also fits so well with the game. They make the controls feel so good, like shaking the control makes Mario spin, which I think is crazy. Almost every single aspect in this game, no matter how small it may seem, is done so perfectly. Even the boss fights are awesome. Each one is pretty unique, and the final boss fight against Bowser is also great as well. You just get a good, well-delivered game with Super Mario Galaxy. Overall, Super Mario Galaxy is just super interesting and a fun game. You're always going to be finding something new to do in the game, whether it be finding new areas or new challenges. The game just has so much content inside of it, so Super Mario Galaxy is the game that I love to play around the holiday season. Being able to finish it all in a couple days is great because you never want to stop playing it once you get your hands on it. Also, there's a Super Mario Galaxy 2, which I think is also pretty good. I don't think it's as good as Super Mario Galaxy 1, but having that extra game to play after that one is also really great. Super Mario Galaxy is truly one of the best games of all time. Thank you for having me on the video.
Greetings, fellow Potamasters, I am Crash Razzle, and I'm here to talk about the Christmas games that I synonymize with myself during Christmas. Well, I actually don't have a certain game. No, I don't sit down every Christmas and play one game every year. No. I actually have a very vivid memory of a console being the reason I'm doing what I do right now. Back in, I think, 1997, so imagine a 6-year-old Crash, beard and all. So excited waking up Christmas morning thinking he's going to get his first ever gaming console from Santa, a Nintendo 64. And lo and behold, he opens it up to a PlayStation 1. Came with 2 games though. Came with 2 Extreme and Air Combat. Used to play Air Combat with my dad all the time. I'm probably a lot better at it now than he is. But I can tell you for a fact that we had a blast playing that, and not very long later, I would get a game called Spyro the Dragon. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Spyro the Dragon came out on PlayStation. And I got a PlayStation for my first ever gaming console. Now, I had a Nintendo, of course, almost everybody did. But my first ever gaming console was a PlayStation, and it's literally the reason I started playing Spyro, and the reason I turned into Skylanders, and why I started playing it myself. So it's a very synonymous thing for Christmas. There's also other times where I've gotten Pokemon Gold during Christmas. I've gotten Nintendogs. I remember Sonic Heroes for the first time. I had such a blast playing Sonic Heroes the first time I got it. So Christmas is very synonymous to me when it comes to gaming and all that stuff. And I gotta say, it's always great to have some good Christmas memories. And for me, I think I might actually play a little bit of Spyro on Christmas Day. Well, I mean, I'm probably really busy with my friends and family, but you guys should be too. But hope you get exactly what you want for this Christmas. And I'm gonna give you this right now. You seriously not going to do it now as soon as I put the camera on you? There we go. She's excited for Christmas also. Yeah? Very excited. Hope you have a great Christmas.
Hello everyone, my name is ComingClean, and I want to first and foremost thank Jadbury from the Fellowship of Leaf for inviting me to their channel and this video about games we play around Christmas. When I was younger and didn't have a family of my own, Christmas was obviously the prime time for gaming. I usually start some sort of grand adventure game like Zelda Majora's Mask, for example, around Christmas. In recent years, however, another game has been much more associated with Christmas for me. This game is Disney Infinity 3.0. This was the last game in the series, but also the first one I got around the Christmas of 2015. The Star Wars hype was bigger than in a very long time since Episode 7 has just premiered in the cinema. I had been interested in getting into Toys to Life games since the announcement of the first Skylanders game 5 years earlier, and now I had found the perfect opening to justify myself doing just that. Firstly, Disney Infinity 3.0 had a Star Wars theme, and anything including the Star Wars label is okay for a grown-up to like. That's why we can all have our Star Wars Lego displayed openly after all. Disney Infinity was also a family-friendly game that I could play with my wife, younger relatives, and eventually also my kids who weren't born back then. At the same time, the game offered a challenge for experienced gamers with surprisingly deep combat mechanics reminiscent of a hack-and-slash game, even though the developers avoided that label for obvious reasons. Finally, the game had a creation mode where you could make everything from small set pieces to grandiose landscapes and even logic mechanics for you to design your own Disney-themed adventures. Playing this game now brings me back to the prime days of Disney Infinity, where the developers had weekly showcases and tutorials, community challenges, and the option to share our created toy boxes with the world. Sadly, all this doesn't exist anymore, but the game does still have a small but dedicated active community, and it's definitely still worth checking out. And that is why Disney Infinity 3.0 is a game I'm always nostalgic about around Christmas. Thank you again to Jadbury and the Fellowship of Leaf for inviting me to this video. My name is ComingClean, and Merry Christmas to all of you!
Hello, it's me, SkyroldStream. And whether you've heard of me or not, I think there's one thing that we can all agree on. Doesn't it seem like every time the holiday season rolls around, you're finding tons of Christmas specials for your favorite TV shows and tons of Christmas movies to watch, but doesn't it always seem like there's just kinda a lack of Christmas content in the video game department? Luckily, I have one thing that I can come to every holiday season that really gets me in a merry mood. How the Saints saved Christmas. Okay, maybe I should follow up that absolutely bizarre introduction with maybe a little bit of context. So, Saints Row 4 is a video game that you can play, and the game itself has nothing to do with Christmas at all. It is like a sci-fi adventure game. However, there is actually a DLC pack, How the Saints Saved Christmas, which is what we're going to be talking about in this little segment. What I think really helps stick out about this is because it's not just a little cosmetic that comes with Christmas time. It's a full-on 3-level pack that includes entirely Christmas-themed content, gameplay-wise I'm talking. And there's just so much love put into every single minute of this game. And sure, the DLC pack only takes about 45 minutes, but in those 45 minutes, you can tell they really cared. Not to mention, this entire thing is chock full with a bunch of references to Christmas movies and stuff. I mean, literally, because when you go to a certain level, real guns aren't allowed. You have to use the Red Ryder BB gun from A Christmas Story. And eventually, you actually end up shooting your eye out, in which half of the screen goes dark for a few seconds. There's another spot where you actually have to lick a metal pole that it has electrical current running through it. And obviously, a sane person would deny this, and I'll just let the clip speak for itself.
I need you to put your tongue on the pole to help conduct the electricity.
The f you say?
Not in front of Santa.
Shawnee, did you hear what Sid asked me to do? No way I'm doing that.
No. Well then, I dare you.
That is not happening.
But this has to be done. Fine. I double dog dare you.
Not you two. Are you both insane?
Then you leave me no choice. I triple dog dare you.
Well now, you know what that means, don't you?
And then obviously the game doesn't give you an option to deny it anymore, so you have to, and you get electrocuted. What a shocker. Okay, I'm sorry for that. Anyway, I just want to take a moment to appreciate this amazing bell solo. Just like hear this. I'm sorry, I just keep getting caught up in so much completely random stuff, and I'm not even done talking about the very first mission, and there's 3 of these. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, overall, from literally flying Santa's sleigh throughout the city giving out gifts, to going to Santa's workshop and trying to kill a bunch of mechanical reindeer, there's just so much love put into this DLC, and I really think it stands out because instead of just being some cheap cosmetics to try to cash in on the holiday season, they really put some love and effort into making this a true Christmas experience in gaming, which is why I love it so much. And even if this didn't exist, I'd still love Saints Row 4, but this just makes me come back to play it every year for Christmas. Anyway, thank you for watching my little segment, Fellowship of the League. Thanks for having me on, and Merry Christmas to all. So I was editing, and I'm pretty sure this random NPC is the same voice of Hugo. Like, listen to this.
You can't kill my holiday!
Let them cheer to your heart. Did it.
Oh.
Slice and